What are you doing? Did you guys see that?
On a seemingly ordinary morning, a woman in plain clothes walked toward the courthouse, her briefcase filled with legal documents. Suddenly, an officer named Martinez blocked her path, his voice dripping with hostility. Without asking for ID or giving any warning, he accused her of trying to break in. Right there in front of everyone, he slapped her so hard her head snapped to the side. Her briefcase clattered open, scattering papers across the steps. He then grabbed her by the throat, slammed her against a wall, and twisted her arms behind her back, locking cold metal handcuffs onto her wrists. While this was happening, other officers stood by, laughing and filming with their phones. Martinez spat out degrading insults, telling her she belonged in a cage, not a courthouse. Through all the pain and humiliation, the woman kept her composure. Her eyes stayed fixed on the courthouse entrance, right below a bronze plaque that read, "The Honorable Judge K. Williams presiding." She was just feet away from her own courtroom. Little did they know, the woman they were assaulting was Judge Kesha Williams herself. Inside, Officer Martinez stood ready to give his side of the story. He painted himself as a hero, a diligent officer who had stopped a suspicious person. He swore under oath that the woman had acted erratically, refused to show identification, and had become verbally aggressive. He claimed she was dressed inappropriately and that her legal papers looked suspicious. He even alleged that she had cursed at him and made threats. Two of his fellow officers, Rodriguez and Thompson, backed up his lies, testifying that Martinez had been professional and used only minimal force. Conveniently, Martinez claimed his body camera had malfunctioned, but he did produce a short phone video that started long after the assault had begun. The temporary judge, Judge Harrison, accepted all of this without question. The prosecutor recommended charges: trespassing, resisting arrest, and assaulting an officer. Throughout this entire charade, the woman sat calmly in handcuffs, listening as the mountain of lies grew higher. When it was her turn to speak, she methodically took apart every single false claim. She explained she was on a public sidewalk, heading to work. The documents were official files for her job. She quoted constitutional law, court precedents, and federal evidence rules with stunning precision. She demanded that all surveillance footage and body camera backups be preserved. Her quiet authority sent a ripple of unease through the courtroom. Then she produced her judicial ID, her official credentials, her parking pass, and her courthouse access card. She formally requested a short recess so her identity could be verified. The room slowly began to realize that a monumental mistake had been made. When court resumed, everything had changed. The woman returned, now wearing her full judicial robes. The bailiff announced her formally, "The Honorable Judge Kesha Williams, presiding." Officer Martinez froze, the color draining from his face as the full weight of his actions crashed down on him. Judge Williams immediately addressed the court. She calmly recounted Martinez's sworn testimony, and then she presented the evidence. On the courtroom screens, footage from courthouse security cameras and body camera backups played out. The video showed the entire unprovoked assault in crystal clear detail. It captured Martinez's racial slurs, his physical violence, and his contemptuous words. Recordings from the other officers' phones revealed their casual laughter during the attack. The courtroom watched in stunned silence as the truth was laid bare for all to see. But Judge Williams wasn't finished. She then revealed that for the past 6 months, she had been leading a federal investigation into systemic misconduct within that very police department. Officer Martinez, she explained, was already a person of interest due to numerous prior complaints. She pulled up his record. Over his 15-year career, he had accumulated 47 formal complaints for excessive force, racial bias, and constitutional violations. The statistics were damning. A disproportionate number of his arrests involved people of color, and his use of force rate was off the charts. Financial records showed that taxpayers had paid out millions of dollars in settlements for lawsuits connected to his conduct. Judge Williams then briefly stated her own qualifications, her appointment, her education, her time as a prosecutor, and her decades of service as a judge, all driven by a deep commitment to civil rights. Then, based solely on the evidence presented in her own courtroom, she delivered the verdict. She found Officer Martinez guilty of felony assault, assault on a judicial officer, deprivation of civil rights under color of law, and perjury. She sentenced him to the maximum penalty, 25 years in federal prison. And she ordered a comprehensive federal investigation into every single case he had ever touched. The courtroom was silent, finally feeling the gravity of true accountability. In the months that followed, the shockwaves from that morning transformed the entire justice system in the region. Federal investigators uncovered widespread corruption, leading to the termination of numerous officers and criminal charges against supervisors. Hundreds of old, tainted cases were reopened. People who had been wrongfully convicted were set free, and countless unjust charges were dismissed. Millions of dollars were awarded to the victims of police misconduct. New policies and accountability measures were put into place to prevent such abuses from ever happening again. Judge Williams became a national icon of judicial integrity, speaking across the country about constitutional rights and ethical law enforcement. The courthouse itself was eventually renamed in her honor, a permanent monument to the day truth triumphed over deception. Most importantly, trust in the justice system began to slowly rebuild, as people saw that accountability applies to everyone, no matter their rank or power. It was a powerful reminder that justice, when wielded with courage, can heal even the deepest wounds of a broken system. Thanks for watching.